Hi friends, Siddharth again. This video is only for those people who are actively applying for jobs in Germany. I mean, whether you are in India or your home country, you are a student or opportunity card, chance card, whatever it may be, if you are applying for jobs in Germany, you must see this video for sure. In this video, I'm going to tell you how you can steer the complete conversation with your German HR in German. Of course, I fully understand that you probably may not be very fluent in German, but still nowadays, friends, this is a very bitter truth that you are supposed to speak German. Now, it is obvious that not everybody is fluent in German, and not at least in India, I'll say the work culture is so dedicated, or you are so much engaged in your work that you really don't find any time to learn German. So, if you come to Germany on job seekers visa or opportunity card or chance card, whatever it may be, you really won't find any time to learn German. And then, how do you handle this situation? Because nowadays, presently, friends, I'm talking about 2025 July, most of the HRs are expecting that you should be very fluent in German. Now, if you talk in English, you are already creating kind of a virtual wall between. That is, if you speak English, they understand that you probably didn't had time to learn German, but at the same time, they will somehow not be very much interested in your profile just because you are totally talking in English. So now in this video, friends, I'm going to talk about some red. Now, Redemittel is actually a German word which actually means that the daily usage of German proverbs or sentences or muhavre in Hindi, as you can say, that is how can we try to steer our conversation in German. Of course, it is fully understand that under. Of course, it is fully understood that you are not fluent in German, but still, friends, there are certain points wherein you can do improvements and steer the complete conversation towards German. Now, how is it possible? Give you a classic example. Let's say if you were to say thank you, of course, I mean, even if you don't know German, you can always say Dankeschön. Huh? So, these are the things that I'm going to narrate in this video. And friends, if you are really actively searching for job in Germany, I request you please see this video completely, because I have seen so many rejections only and only because of language. Okay, so let's go ahead. So friends, in this video, I'm not going to talk about your first conversation with a job consultant. See, in most cases, as you probably have already observed, some or the other job consultant would connect to you and they will tell you about a job in a company. Now, these consultants are external parties. They are most likely genuine guys if they don't ask you any money at any stage of time. The genuine consultants will never ask you for any money. Please have a look at my previous video, friends. I narrated in detail how these genuine consultants. I am going to talk about only your interaction with a German HR or a German hiring manager. Now, when I say German, it could be, of course, any nationality, but I'm talking about your interview with these guys who are actually responsible for your recruitment in the company. Now, friends, if you have already applied for multiple jobs in Germany, I'm sure that you are going to agree with my opinion that most of the job interviews are literally structured in the same way. As per my experience, typical job interviews are structured in 8 heads. So the first head is introduction round of the recruiter himself. So friends, I'll call it as stage one, and there are likewise 8 stages. So in the stage one, the interviewer will himself or herself introduce yourselves about themselves. They will talk about their own personality when they joined the company, what areas they are looking for, and of course, friends, in typical interviews, there are at least 2 to 3 people. So you can expect that first 10 minutes will be only introduction, or 7 8 minutes will be only introduction by these guys. Here you are just a mute spectator, you are not supposed to talk anything. Now at this stage, friends, I will say, please try to, instead of saying great, wow, such things, please use some German words. Let's say you can say Prima. Prima is a word when you are very happily surprised, or you get to know a very pleasant information from the other side. So you call it as Prima. So friends, whenever the interviewer gives you introduction about themselves, you can in between say Prima, or maybe you can say Alles klar, hab's verstanden, I'm going to write these words in the description. So please, friends, try to memorize these words. And instead of saying any English word during these conversations, try to use as much as possible German words. Because as I said, the main theme or the main motive of this video and of your interviews is to give an impression to the interviewer that you are learning German, but just because of your Beschäftigung, that is your extreme engagement in your previous job, you didn't get a chance to learn German. So this is going to give a kind of a positive Ausdruck, that is a kind of a positive inspiration to the recruiter that you are ready to learn German and you are doing your level best. Now, friends, you must also have a little bit information about German. So I'll give you a very broad example. Like in English, we call you even for the grandfather, for your spouse, and even for kids, for the children. So you is normal for all three cases. But in German, there are only two forms wherein you say Z to the elder people, to strangers, to officials, let's say to police people, kind of people, and you speak do with your same age people or your colleagues or somebody who you know very well. So friends, it may happen that if you have started this introduction round or if you have started the interview also with a tint of German, these guys may ask you, should we speak in do or should we speak in Z? That is, if they say that let's talk in do, that means we are going to carry out this interview in kind of an unofficial or informal way, like typical colleagues interact with each other. But in case if they say that let us SIE, that means this interview is going to be very formal. So friends, if they ask you this question, I'll suggest you please tell them to use do, because do is kind of getting more close to each other, getting more friendly during that interview round or this interaction round. So always choose do in case if they ask you. Now comes stage 2. In this stage, they are going to tell about the company itself. Now, friends, as a bottom line, I'll tell you, don't be surprised. In many cases, I have seen many candidates, including me myself, I have experienced it multiple times, that many times you will be speaking less during the interview and the interviewer will be speaking more. So this is a kind of a surprise, but it happens many times. Many people have experienced this, including me myself. So let's come back to the stage 2, wherein stage 2 will be introduction to the company. So friends, it is expected that you should do a kind of a homework, know the company beforehand before applying for these jobs. So friends, in this introduction round, that is stage 2, you are again a mute spectator. That is, you are not actively participating in the interaction, you are just hearing them and just say Prima or Wunderbar or some kind of good wishes words, which gives kind of a good mood to the interaction round. Now comes stage number 3. Now in this stage, these guys will tell you to please introduce yourselves. Now friends, here you have a chance to talk about yourself, but as per my personal experience, I'll suggest you don't speak all those words which are already there in your resume, because you've already shared your resume with these guys. They have already gone through it, and that's why you are called for this interview. Try to make it more interactive, more a pleasant interaction. Like, for example, in my last interview wherein I got selected for the company, they asked me that please introduce yourselves, and they clearly told me that please don't. I mean, we would like to know about you, which is not there in the Lebenslauf, in the resume. So I immediately it came to my mind, and I told them that I like Weiss beer more than Pilsner. I mean, this is kind of a joke that I cracked, and everybody was laughing that Siddharth likes Weiss beer more than Pilsner. So what I want to tell you is, friends, when you get a chance to introduce yourselves, they already have gone through your resume, number one, so you can speak something on top of it. Of course, you have to follow the sequence of your jobs wherein you have worked in previous companies. You have to tell about that also, but don't try to speak word by word which is there in the resume. Now again, it is your chance to prove yourselves. Now, friends, I would suggest you please do some homework. Try to pick up some relevant German words wherein possible, and try to just ratified. Ratified means to mug up those words and speak out during this interaction round, that is stage number 3. This is a chance for you to prove that you are trying your level best to learn German, and you will be fluent in German once you are selected in this job. So make use of this stage number 3. Now number 4 is wherein they will ask you about your motivation. Why do you want to change, and why have you selected our company to get your next job, or why do you think that you are the best fit candidate for this company? So now friends, you have to have a very strong reason. Why do you want to switch, number 1, and why have you selected this company as your dream job? Now, friends, here you have a chance to give some butter to the interviewers. Now, again, you are not there to please them. Please understand, you are not there to please them. But again, you don't want to speak out something which hurts them. There is one portal called Kununu, Kununu, but it talks about the feedbacks of companies, and the employees themselves give their feedbacks for the companies. Now, this is completely a different topic, not for this video. But what I want to say is, at this stage, you can always speak that I have gone through the Kununu reviews of your company, and I find that your work culture is what exactly I'm looking for my next job. Again, please pick up some German words for this sentence, friends, and try to simply mug up and speak out during that interview. At this stage, most likely you will be asked, what do you expect in your next job? What do you think which will, what conditions do you expect in your next job that will allow you to remain on this job for a long time? That is sustainability of your career. So friends, here again, you should think upon some points and translate them to German. One example will be, um, like in my interviews, I used to say that I would like to have a job wherein I am given a very clear tasks and responsibilities. Now, in German, if you want to say, ich möchte gern Klarheit in mein Aufgaben. Klarheit means clarity, Aufgaben is tasks. If you want to add Zuständigkeit or Verantwortlichkeit, that could be a complex word, but please try to take up these words. Again, I'm going to put them in description, so please have a look at it, and you should answer very precisely to this answer, to this question. Because friends, again, this is a very generic question. There could be a 300 words essay that you can write on this topic, but at this point, when you are giving interview, you are supposed to answer in no more than 2 to 3 sentences. Number 6 is, what do you expect to do in the next job? So let's say, friends, if this job is about a software company or a software development role, so you can expect that I would like to work as a software developer, I would like to work as a team leader, or whatever it may be. Now, again, software developer, the German word for this is software Entwickler. Entwicklung is development. Again, if you want to say that I want to work as team leader, then the word should be team lighter, Leiter. So please mug up these words and try to speak up at this stage as well. Now, talking about the stage number 7, here they might ask you about some situational scenarios. Let's say they might ask you, please give us some scenarios wherein you worked really very well, you reached your targets, you reached the expected goals, and you may even be asked, give us a scenario wherein you failed bitterly. You were really criticized and you literally made the complete project kaput. Such scenarios you have to prepare in advance. Let's say you might say that, in mein bisherige Aufgabe. Bisherige Aufgabe is my last task or my previous task. You can say blah 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 blah, whatever it may be, but try to, as I said, again and again, I'm speaking the same thing. Please try to bring in some German words in your sentences. This shows that you are learning German and you are bringing German in your daily life as much as possible. Now, stage number 8, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And this will be the final stage. This may be the final stage wherein you will be asked, or you will be given a chance to ask questions to the recruiters or to the recruiting people. They might ask you to, do you have any, hast du Fragen, or they might say, do you have any questions? So here again, friends, this is a chance that for sure you will face this stage number 8, and here you can mug up your words. trust me friends, here you can very easily mug up some words. You can prepare some questions in advance and try to speak out in German once again. So for example, wie sieht ein typisches Tag aus? So how does a typical day looks like in your company? Or as as I used to make it more pleasant and more funny, I asked many interviewers, are there free fruits or coffee available in the bureau, in the office? Gibt's gratis Obst und Kaffee in dem Büro? So such things, if you ask them, it always brings in kind of, it removes all official or formality in the interview, and those guys really appreciate your sense of humor in that sense. That is, you show your personality, that even during Vorstellungsgespräch, that is even during your interviews, you are not nervous at all. You are still showing your real personality. So cracking such small jokes or maybe some funny ideas brings a real, sense of pleasant or sense of comfort during the interview. Try to mug up some statement in advance and try to speak out at that stage number 8. And let's say if you have already asked a couple of questions, they might ask you, have you more questions? I mean, how do you tell them that, no, I don't have any more questions to ask? So friends, there is a very striking difference in English and German. I have no questions to ask, right? This is a English word, but in German, if you convert, it will be Ich habe kein mehr Fragen zu stellen. I'll again write it in description. So again, friends, as I said, this will be the end of this interview. Now, again, you are given a last chance to prove your German. At least, as per my this video, I'll suggest you please speak out some more German at the end. After you say that I have no more questions to ask, they will say, okay, thank you so much. We will discuss internally, and in next coming days or maybe in a couple of weeks, we will get back to you. So friends, at this stage again there is a Redemittel that you can say, and that is Ich drücke die Daumen. That is, I will keep my fingers crossed. This is a very common proverb or Redemittel in German. Ich drücke die Daumen. That means I'll keep my fingers crossed and I'll hope that I'll get a positive response from your side. So this again gives kind of a last punch to the complete interaction round, saying that, or giving an impression to the interviewer that you are really doing your level best to learn German. Now, the last word. The last word is schönes Feierabend. Now, friends, what is this? So, in English, I think this word does not exist at all. In typical offices, or even if you go to Lebensmittelmarkt, that is a supermarket in evening hours, when they are going to close the supermarket, people wish each other end of the day. But in German, it is they say "Schöne Feierabend." That is, we wish you a very happy closure of your working day. Schöne Feierabend. So, friends, this is applicable only and only if you are doing this interview in the evening hours. Let's say after 4 p.m. or 5 p.m. Then you can always say "Schöne Feierabend." That is, I wish you a very happy end of the business day. Plus, just in case if you are doing this interview on Friday, exclusively on Friday, you can always say Schöne Wochenende. That is, I wish you a very good weekend. So, friends, as I said, please use as much as German Redemitels as possible. And I'm sure that if you give an impression to the interviewer that you are trying your level best to learn German, they will be very much inclined to consider your profile when they compare with any other guy who is purely speaking his or her interview in English. So friends, if you have made up to this point, I request you please consider subscribing to my channel. If you have anything in addition, do you want to if you want to add anything to the Redemitels that I said, please post them in comment section. I'll include in the description as well. And if you have any doubts or comments, feel free to post them again on YouTube comments. I wish you all the best with your German interviews. Cheers.